Hello and welcome back, fellow Taoists, to 1991 Review. After Marquis Nan long departed, Han Li, who is now a nascent soul stage powerhouse, Lu Luo, and Mu Pai Ling immediately set off for the trade fair. Before long, the three arrived at Tian City. This was the first time Elder Lu Luo had seen such a large mortal city. He was immediately overwhelmed by its grandeur and imposing scale. Glancing around, he exclaimed in shock, "Junior Martial Brother Han, you must have never encountered such a massive stone city before, right? This place absolutely ranks as one of the 5 great cities." But Han Li had previously seen Heavenly Star City in the disordered star seas, so he just smiled without saying anything. For the next part of the journey, Lu Luo constantly complained about having to walk when they got close to the city. Han Li had to explain to him that this was a restriction formation, Kamche, put in place for ease of management, and that, for nascent soul cultivators like us, this restriction is merely a formality. To avoid unnecessary trouble, Han Li and Lu Luo concealed their cultivation, pretending to be Foundation establishment stage cultivators, making it easy to blend in and pass through city gates. Not long after entering the city, Lu Luo, relying on his old familiarity, led the way to a separate district. He introduced, "This place has noble guest pavilions dedicated exclusively to hosting nascent soul stage cultivators." Thus, they arrived before a screen of white light. Lu Luo explained that only a nascent soul cultivator could open it. With that said, a flash of azure light appeared on his palm, and he used his hand to rip open a slit before stepping inside. The light screen immediately closed up. When it was Han Li's turn, he did nothing complicated. He simply opened his mouth, and a beam of green light shot out. Instantly, a crevice wider than a zhong, about 10 feet, opened up right afterward. He calmly held Mu Pai Ling and flew in, leaving Lu Luo standing inside utterly astonished. While Lu Luo was suggesting that Han Li choose 2 adjacent pavilions, the restriction on a neighboring pavilion suddenly opened, and a short person stepped out. As soon as this person saw Lu Luo, he cried out, "Oh, isn't this Brother Lu?" Han Li recognized the person immediately. It was none other than the fire dragon child, Ho Long Dong Tu, whom he had met at the sacred land over 20 years ago. The fire dragon child also recognized Han Li instantly, noticing with a glance that Han Li had also advanced to the nascent soul stage. After Lu Luo introduced Han Li as the new elder of the Fallen Cloud sect, Lac Van Tong, the fire dragon child excitedly said, "I just happen to be heading to the Star Dragon Pavilion, Tin Long Kak, with a few fellow Daos to hold a small exchange fair, Jiao Hon Hoi. How about the 2 of you join us for a look?" Lu Luo was overjoyed and immediately turned to Han Li, saying, "To have an exchange fair so quickly, we must definitely go." Han Li agreed. He instructed Mu Pai Ling to stay in the pavilion, and then left with the 2 others. Along the way, the fire dragon child informed him that the exchange fair was organized by a friend, true person Heavenly Star, Tian Nan, and that, to avoid certain troubles, everyone entering must wear a mask. Not long after, the 3 arrived at the Star Dragon Pavilion. Outside hung a sign, "This establishment is reserved. Outsiders are forbidden to enter," under the guidance of the fire dragon child. Han Li and Lu Luo quickly went inside. The place was as noisy as an ordinary tavern, filled with guests eating and drinking. The fire dragon child muttered, "This Heavenly Star old fiend, Tian Lao Kui, putting on a glimmering illusion, when do it show again." Hearing this, Han Li also swept the spiritual sense over the area, and his expression immediately became strange. As expected, as soon as the 3 stepped through the door, the light before their eyes immediately dimmed, and all the sounds and sights of the tavern disappeared. Before them was only a dim room, in the center of which sat an old Taoist in a gray robe. This person was none other than true person Heavenly Star. After the greetings, Han Li introduced himself. "I am Han Li of the Fallen Cloud sect, a newly promoted cultivator." True person Heavenly Star handed Han Li and Lu Luo 2 ominous spirit masks, Mat Nao Lin. The fire dragon child did not need one, as with his stature, everyone would recognize him anyway. A moment later, the 2 put on their masks and followed the fire dragon child up to the 2nd floor. Here, the area was several times larger than its exterior appearance, and inside, more than 20 nascent soul stage cultivators were already seated. All of them wore masks, and the atmosphere was incredibly strange and intensely pressurized. Han Li discovered that there were even 2 cultivators at the mid-nascent soul stage. While Han Li was observing, he noticed a fat man and a plump female cultivator who were not wearing masks. Lu Luo hastily transmitted a warning. "Junior Martial Brother Han, be careful. The Joyous Union sects Hop Hon Tong, infamous fat pig dual fiends, Phi Exe Song Ma. They're extremely difficult to deal with. Don't provoke them." Hearing this, Han Li immediately closed his eyes and focused on cultivating his spirit. A moment later, true person Heavenly Star was the last to descend. He flew to the middle of the room and announced, "The time is almost right. The exchange fair is about to begin. No sooner had true person Heavenly Star finished speaking than a brocade-robed cultivator sitting nearby impatiently said, "In that case, why don't we start with this old man first?" The old man was not at all reserved. He stood up and patted his storage pouch. A flash of crimson light appeared, and a jade-green wooden box, with red flames constantly flickering within, materialized. The brocade-robed cultivator opened the box, and a scarlet light beam emerged from the box. It was a crimson Ganoderma lucidum, Lin Chi, wreathed in red smoke, as if containing immortal Chi, Tian Kai. Immediately, someone shouted, "Crimson Star Fungus, Zich Tin Chi." It's a crimson star fungus that's around 3,000 years old. The entire second floor immediately erupted into commotion. The brocade-robed cultivator loudly declared, "I require 100,000 spirit stones, or in exchange for pure refinement or artifact crafted materials of an equivalent grade." This statement made Han Li's heart pound. He was somewhat tempted, as he had over 100,000 spirit stones looted, especially the 3,000 mid-grade spirit stones from the Six Paths Inheritor, making his reserves very plentiful. At this point, a few cultivators stepped forward to offer items for exchange, but a brocade-robed cultivator unceremoniously refused them. The fire dragon child next to them clearly showed regret, as his cultivation art was fire-attributed, and he desperately needed this item. Just as the cultivator was about to put the crimson star fungus back into his storage pouch, Han Li finally made his move. That concludes episode 169 of Immortal's Journey to Immortality. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next videos.